Sagittarius, how are you doing? So I'm going to be doing your reading for February 2021, and I'm going to be looking at the tarot messages that kind of explain what's going on in the month and linking them to the astrological placements in your chart. This is actually my sign, so I know a lot about this in particular, but also if this doesn't resonate, maybe check your rising sign, because I find that if you put your sun and rising together, it gives a really good overview of what is happening in the month. But if it doesn't resonate at all, that's totally fine. Just find a video that does. I'm hoping it does, because like I say, I know this sign in and out, and I'm very good with the astrological placements. So let's find a message for Sagittarius. Magician, boom, yes. I get so excited when I see things to do with manifestation, because I actively manifest, and I want to know that I can be a master manifester. Or manifester. I've recently, but I've lived in a place that the place has an accent where you, instead of saying you say ah, and I really get irritated that I end up saying things like answer and not answer, because it's like, no, I don't want this accent. So I'm just wary that I'm like, no, I'm adopting an accent I don't want. Woo. Okay, everything fell out. Brilliant. I'm going to take the things that fell out on the table and not what fell out on the ground, because there's too much there. Okay. Straight off, the Justice in reverse. We have to be really careful about reining in the anger this month. We might feel very angry about injustice in the world, injustice done to us, but we have to be very careful to keep that in check. So for Candlemas, lighting a candle and just putting it up to peace, raising your candle to peace and saying, look, I've got to let go of this anger. I've got to let go of this anger. Just injustice is happening, but I have to let go of the anger. This is also linked to injustice that you've given to other people. So if you had an argument with somebody, or you've done something that's a little bit like, oh, I'm not really, there's a real link to that about you sort of asking for forgiveness if you have had an argument with somebody. And, that can be linked to, even keeping a journal and writing a lot about your feelings. And also, I really think analysing your dreams is very important, looking out for very weird signs. So things like numbers. I've been dreaming of 3 a lot lately, and I've realised that's the number of obsession, and I was like, oh, okay, you're calling me out. Even my mind is calling me out. So looking for numbers, looking for like mythological things like Greek gods, creatures, basically anything that seems a little bit out of the ordinary. If you're able to do magic, things like that, it's really important. And like I say, I link this to a magician about being able to do magic, which is my Scarlet Witch thing there. I think this is really about being able to be a master manifester and bringing things into your life. And particularly if you're manifesting romance, this is really good, because we've got the 4 of Wands, manifesting good romance and just harmony in society generally. So if you have been manifesting romance in your life, that is going to pay off. It's going to start seeing movement, which is obviously amazing. But there's just a real sense of personal power here as well. I think the 8 of Pentacles here is also suggesting in reverse. It's suggesting, you haven't always been very honest with yourself at this point. And again, this is linked to the injustice. Somebody, even yourself, there's a sense of someone's lying and not being truthful about something, and so that might be linked to the injustice. It's like someone is not being frank and blunt, and it's just causing issues. So that might be what is the injustice done to you, done to yourself. I link it to yourself as well, because I talk a little bit about focusing on the dreams and the spiritual awareness as well. We also got 4 of Pentacles in reverse. This is really great for money. Actually, on the 4th and 5th, it's a really good time to apply for a job or to ask for some kind of advancement, like a raise, because a lot of people are going to be fascinated with you. They're going to be like, okay, your opinions actually matter. Your voice is important, and sometimes even if you give them really weird suggestions and opinions, they will take that on board. They might not have before, but on the 4th and 5th, they're going to take it on board. I also think that because you're feeling more motivated from people responding well to you, on the 8th, In particular, you're going to be feeling really creative, so writing a book or a story, pushing that on, challenging yourself to be a little bit better with education. That resonates for me because I'm writing a book at the moment and also doing a PhD, so kind of advancing myself in that area really is part of my chart. But also, if you're able to travel for education, so for example, if you're doing your guest speaking for education, if you're meant to go on a trip and it's still safe, something like that is going to be really good on the 8th. But it's also really important as well to have communication and to kind of branch out a little bit more to your siblings, so your sisters and your brothers and your family, because they are going to be a very important change for you this month. You know, they're going to be helping you conquer things. And this Queen of Swords suggests that. A Queen of Swords can sometimes be that you feel lonely and that you have felt disconnected to your family. And so I think there's a real link definitely with that, with making a point to talk to your siblings and talk to your family. And also, for every star sign, February 23rd has been very important, and it's no different for this sign. That day is really going to be important for your career and your, what I would say, your social standing in your life. So like I said, if you've applied for a job, this is really great news, especially if you've got Capricorn rising. It's really, really good news for career, like for a raise, for a job. And that's linked to you branching out to the community and being a bit more involved than you normally are. So yes, good for money. But you do have to be careful about the way that you communicate with people this month, because Chiron is entering the sector of communication in this chart, and that means that the way you present yourself isn't always the way you come across. And actually it's linked to betrayal. And I mentioned betrayal because we have this 3 of Swords in reverse and this 9 of Swords in reverse, and that is a suggestion of, you know, you are starting to get over some kind of betrayal in your life. But this is also really reminiscent of Chiron. Chiron really is about betrayal. It's that idea of losing someone on the battlefield, watching somebody die on the battlefield, and knowing you can do nothing about it. Injustice, basically. So Chiron is going to be entering Chiron is going to be entering the communication side of your chart, and so you may be careful about the way you say things because it can be misleading, especially if it's over text. You know, be careful about the tone that you come across as, because sometimes you might think it comes across as jokingly. Sometimes you think it comes across as being playful, but it comes across as being really sharp or sarcastic, and it doesn't sit well, okay? And also I think, you know, you have to be a little bit more subtle this month. Trying to force and fight things isn't going to work. You need to be a little bit more diplomatic, be a bit more Libra, okay? Especially if you've got Libra friends, they can give you a little bit more of a perspective on that in particular. We've also got Page of Swords in reverse, and it's interesting because I actually link this card to feeling a little bit like you have some welcome change in your life, okay? Normally this card is not feeling very active, feeling a little bit sluggish, but what I link this to is that you think that your work doesn't get recognised, but it will. You'll actually get some kind of recognition, like I said, with this new job, with some kind of raise, and actually you're definitely going to get some kind of cash in a way that you didn't expect. And I think that's because this Page of Swords is thinking, oh, I can't be bothered, my work is for naught, and it's not that case at all. If you're manifesting a new job, if you're manifesting finances in your life, it will pay off. If you're manifesting love in your life, it pays off. There's just a sense of that going down really, really well. Okay, so manifestation is amazing. That's going to be a really, really good sign as well. So if you're manifesting something by Valentine's Day, that's great. I don't see anything specifically amazing for Valentine's Day for Sagittarius, but I do see that, you know, romance can be felt. It's a little bit more of a spiritual month for us, unfortunately. It's going to be a little bit more of us thinking, why'd you do me wrong? And how can I take responsibility for that? But then also thinking, actually, I'm getting over that now and moving on to better and bigger things, you know? Just unexpected changes that are actually very exciting. So that was your reading, Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I've given you the kind of placements and linked them to the tarot cards. We also have a stellium on the 11th, which is a stellium of 7 planets in Aquarius. And normally a stellium is 3 or more planets, I believe. So this is quite exciting because there's a lot of them, and that will affect some of these themes in your chart too, and in this reading. So if you liked it, please give it a like, but you don't have to if you don't want to. And I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great February, and I'll see you around, Saggies. Bye.